After a month of unrelenting rain, the downpour miraculously ceased, but I had a sinking feeling it would return. With Liang Yu and 11 others, we set off on a dilapidated boat towards Wuniang Mountain. The flood had already engulfed the 21st floor, and as we neared our destination, my worst fears materialized. Thunder rolled across the sky, heralding the inevitable deluge that would ravage the land. We still had half an hour to go. At that moment, the twins shouted, "The river is relatively calm, everyone row harder." They stood at the bow, using all their strength to propel the boat forward with the oars. Everyone sprang into action, clutching wooden planks and gliding through the water like dragon boats. I was grateful for the presence of 2 water sports athletes. Without them, we would have been powerless to move the boat. Suddenly, a deafening panic erupted. The rain, which had momentarily eased, now pounded down with renewed vigor, covering the entire city. It was impossible to see or move, but Liang Yu encouraged us not to fear, to keep going. The flood he spoke of was the second wave of mountain floods, far more terrifying than the water beneath us. As we neared Wuniang Mountain, the twins' faces turned grim. They knew we were in dire straits. The sound of the approaching flood grew louder, and our boat began to pitch and toss. The sight of the yellow dragon in the distance, a wall of water rushing towards us from the north, was terrifying. The first wave of the flood had been bad enough, but this one would surely engulf the 31st floor and leave no survivors in the city. Our boat slowed, hampered by the violent vibrations of the flood. Even if we had 10 minutes, escape seemed impossible. Some of us were paralyzed with fear, but Liang Yu roared, "Cheer up. We've come this far, don't give up now." He threw a wooden plank to me, and I gripped it tightly, biting my tongue until I tasted blood. I had to move, otherwise, it would be swallowed by the flood. I remembered escaping from a cold lake 3 years ago, when I also thought I would die. But I survived. I had to believe in the possibility of a miracle, not be trapped in a nightmare. As we continued to fight, a large fishing boat appeared in the distance, heading upstream against the current. It was a mirage, I thought, as no boat could possibly be navigating these waters. But as it drew closer, we realized it was real. An old man at the helm shouted at us, his figure blurry in the rain. I felt a surge of relief. It was my father. The large fishing boat, with its powerful engine, shattered the floodwaters as it approached. A huge net was cast over us, and we clung to it, being hauled onto the boat. The fishermen quickly turned the boat around and raced downstream. The wind and rain howled around us, and I heard my father's sobs as he embraced me. Now was not the time for tears, we had to focus on survival. As we neared Wuniang Mountain, the fishermen readied a pulley system to lift us to safety. The mountain, standing tall at over 2,000 meters, had a large part of its base submerged. The area around the mountain had been transformed into a makeshift refuge for the many people gathered there. A wooden platform descended from the pulley, capable of carrying more than 10 people at a time. As we were lifted to safety, I looked back and saw the flood rushing towards us like a beast. But we were safe, at least for now. As I conclude this part of the story, I want to leave you with a sense of reflection. Just like in a good movie or our own lives, it's the imperfections that make every story more perfect. If you're a fan who craves closure, I'll guide you to the ending in the comments. Thank you once again for your support, and I hope you'll look forward to my next story.